Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great. The weather here in Southern California is getting hot. It's in the 80s now. Yes. So it's
Nice.
perfect time to go to the beach. We're approaching summer, right?
Wonderful. Yeah, they say it's going to be nicer here in Las Vegas too the next few days. So I'm excited. I was complaining because I had not seen any 70-ish and they said it might get as warm as 82 today. So I'm totally geeked about
Nice.
that.
We're still under 80. We're thankful for that. It's not too hot. Um,
All right. Well, welcome everyone. We are wealth doctors and we talk to you about financial well-being. Dr. Andrea Lee is coming to us live from sunny Southern California, and myself, Dr. Stephanie Ardrey, am joining you from good old Henderson, Nevada.
Welcome. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Absolutely. So we're talking about right before we went live an article that you're reading around our topic for today. We're talking about key man policies. And if any of you are business owners, you understand how you have key people within the organization. And if you're right in the middle of developing, for example, a technology, or they have proprietary knowledge and experience, that intellectual contribution to the organization, if that person is to be lost through some type of tragedy or even severely impaired, how that could impact the operations of the business, and especially a business that could be growing or have a number of capital commitments. So oftentimes when investors are contemplating making an investment, especially in organizations that are new innovators, small teams, especially if you're a solo founder, any of those particular losses, key man policies are one way that organizations are able to somehow or another mitigate the risk. It doesn't protect against the impairment of that lost intelligence. However, it gives the organization access to resources that will help them fill in that role, meaning they'll have to do a recruitment. And so to recover from the impacts of whatever this major loss is. So, anyway, Andrea, that article, yeah, tell.
It's a real story that I was just reading just before we went live. A new hire CEO, for this thriving company are making increasing sales, making millions of dollars. And luckily, what the owner was trying to put a policy in place for him right before the tragedy happened, for multi-million dollars policy in case of something happen. So it's important if you have a business, you want to protect the key people in your organization just in case if something is happening, disabilities, dead, or leaving your business. In this situation that I was reading, the new hire CEO fell and slipped on the ice, and the injury was severe enough that he passed away a year later,
Wow.
and that leave the company without help. Of course, the owner had to step in and taking care of all of these, but and he also had a policy in place before all of this happened, so he able to utilize that fund to get the new management and also help to continue to grow the business. So it's important that when you have a company, so proprietorship or partnership, corporations, um, uh, you can have a numbers of people that help you to grow your business. You want to protect those key people and also able to continue business if they're no longer there in case of unspeakable events, death, disability, or leaving your business. So it's important that you maintain that. And today we're going to dive in more details about these key man policies and how it works and how it helps your organization to protect your company.
Exactly. And so that was great that they had already established the policies. What are you seeing in terms of companies at the point? Is it pretty much at formation, or is it even at the time that they're making a new offer for hire, that in those hiring documents, there's a key man policy that's like attached to that process? So at day one, before, as soon as the commitment is made, basically, they have that protection. How far are you
Yeah,
seeing that?
you can start even at forming of a corporation or your company. The key man policy can be your key employees or yourself as the owner of the business. So without you, you are the key person running your own business. So if you're no longer there, who is running or who continue that business? So you can ensure yourself, and your beneficiary would be your business,
Mhm,
and the owner would be your business for that policy as well. That paying for that the premium to to the policy, and then in cases that it can be tax deductible or write off for your business because it's business expense.
mhm.
But in any case, you can start at the beginning. You can start when you're hiring a new person that with great talents, or a person that bring you business, and you want to keep that person in order to grow your business and expand your business. So put a policy in place, or reach out to someone that specializes in this area, that help you to protect your company in case of something happen.
Exactly. A lot of times people don't consider, just the value of that talent, intellectual property, and we're really a society of knowledge workers, and especially when you talk about some of the complexities that organizations face these days. Yeah, there's big, Fortune 500s that recruit young talent, in certain roles and functions in the organization, but really when you're growing a global organization that's faced with the type of political and economic instability that's happening around the world, that you have to have seasoned talent at the helm throughout that organization. And so that talent, it has to be protected. I mean, that's kind of the whole idea behind, you know, the importance of what I say with the wellness resorts, right? Is we're trying to ensure that that talent doesn't burn out, because of the complexities in all of the work that's involved these days. So having a place to go and rejuvenate, to be able to keep pace, is all part of this, holistic approach. So if we're living longer, we need to protect the things that we worked so hard to establish. Absolutely.
Right. The key person life insurance is the type of life insurance that your business can take out on a key employee, the owner, or partner even, whose debt that could potentially impact your company. So now, you want to be able to recover those financial losses incur when there's a debt or disability, and you can get a lump sum out of this policy to pay your company and continue that growth for your, in case that you need to hire a new person to train or for replacement. Again, what, like you say, protecting unique skills or expertise or certain, crucial skills that important for your company's operations. So you have a company, this is very, very essential to get and protect that part. So how this policy is work is, and what does it cover? So a lot of people not sure how this goes, so we're gonna talk about what's the key person can be: the owner,
Exactly. Yeah.
top executive, unique talents, that business would suffer in event of something happening, and what are they going to cover for that part? Basically, securing and training replacement in case something is happening, and also cover errors, things things can go wrong in a business, right? So you want to make sure you have a successor that able to get training and all the expertise to continue that business, and also assure your creditors that their loans is safe and they able to lend you the money to continue business or to fund your or expanding your business even. So keep the business running and also assure the customer that you're going to be there for them in case something is happening to the key person in in your company.
Yeah, we were talking about this. I didn't recall this story during the time it happened, but I was told that around Super Bowl, for example, there were three very senior executives that were in a helicopter that crashed and died. And they were flying in the helicopter in for Super Bowl, and one was like the head of a bank, a head of a government, like just very senior, irreplaceable figures in those organizations. And I thought about just the tragedy of those situations. You're going to a football game to have fun. You don't expect that there could, be a casualty. You expect to be back home with your family. That's why you're flying in by a helicopter, right?
Right,
But
right.
yeah, just the sudden and devastation of those types of tragedies. So it's not only the emotional ripple that happens through the family, but also the peers, the people who are working with you. But then definitely if you're a fast growing concern and there's investors and other stakeholders that have invested resources within your organization, if it's a publicly traded company, that kind of thing will impact the share price. While there is uncertainty about who's going to be in charge and be able to maintain, whatever the growth plans have been or are set to be. So a lot of times when we see these kind of sudden tragedies, especially when the top leader is in a publicly traded organization, it makes the news because you'll see that impact on the share value. So it's a big deal.
Exactly. The financial stability of the company is entirely dependent on the person running it and also your key talents of the company. So the policy, the insurance policy can be owned and payable to the business, and also the most important thing is if you structure it the right way, or it depends on your business organization. Is it sole proprietorship, partnership, or corporation? There are different ways to structure the policy in such a way that it benefits you in terms of tax mitigation, process in the company, and at the same time help to protect your company in advance of something is happening. So you start out as a business, and then you'll get a insurance contract, and your business will pay that insurance contract the premium, and in turn the insurance contract provide death benefits and policy benefits to offset any loss of the key person. So the insurer can be your top executive talent pool, or the owner of the company, and the insurable interest would be your business. So it's depend. If you have a need for this one, reach out to someone that has with specialty in key man person policy, and have them give you a overview of what they are and how it works in your Pacific organizations. And also the thing that we wanted to touch base on is different policy for the key man too. Is it whole life or term life?
Okay.
Or you can do both. With the whole life, with the permanent life, I should say permanent life policy, you have an opportunity to access that cash in advance of something is happening, or you need to access that cash to to help your business running in event that you need some cash. And also the term is just for pure protection.
Well,
you know.
it's funny when you talk about the permanent life, because things like when I've shared my journey, what are the lessons that I've learned on the entrepreneurial journey. And so I remember when I had the agency, what I learned in that experience is when you end up in litigation, you need to have a fund of immediate resources available to defend, your business. Because what happens is, even if you think you're doing everything correctly, litigation is a high probability, because sometimes you just have frivolous lawsuits and you have to defend your organization. And so if you have to depend upon cash from operations to suddenly retain legal talent, and you're finding, and you don't have those resources planned, that can be disruptive to your business, especially if you're trying to continue forward in leading that organization, because you too still are the leader of this business. So, they're questioning you, you're trying to document, your understanding in whatever it is that's impacting the organization. Unless it's just purely something that's based on a person, an employee, a senior executive, and it's their personal matter. It's a matter, but that still can be disruptive to the business, because it
Exactly.
turns out somebody inside the organization knew something, or, all of those things. So yeah, it ends up being a bunch of circumstances that could cause the need for this type of protection, and having some additional resources somewhere
Right.
easily accessible. Yes.
Right.
Is a big.
And when you have a business, a lot of people think, oh, well, I can either self-insure myself because I have enough asset or cash on the sides in case of something is happening. Sure, you can do that. That is one of the option. But if another option that provide you a better opportunity to access additional cash or additional protection, why not go that route and mitigate the risk of your company? Right? I mean, is you can insure yourself and do nothing about it,
Mm.
or or you can use life insurance policy as a key person insurance to help protect your business in the loss of your key person, or cash infusion, like you said, to your business when you need it the most. When you go through litigation, like you said earlier, you need some kind of fund to back you up.
Mhm.
That way you don't have to access all of your excess cash for your expansion planning,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
those are financials, strategies that you can incorporate into your business, and especially smart planning, because things can happen any time along your journey of growing your business, and to get that protection and to maximize all your talents
Mhm.
and protect your asset, personal and businesses. That is something that you have to consider at the beginning when you're starting out or hiring someone, or at the point when your business is growing at the exponential rate that you didn't expect. Things can happen, or a downturn when you hit some a blockage. So
Mm.
these are the policy can back you up and keep you going in your business, and also assure that you're running, and assure your customer coming back to you, and that you're going to be there. If you in a business providing a service and the next day you're not there anymore, then we're talking about
Exactly.
building trust and relationship,
Absolutely.
um,
Mhm.
to ensure that the business is going to be there tomorrow. If you're not there as an owner or as a key person, that running your business is not there or no longer there because of debt, disabilities, or leaving your businesses, then what do you do to
No,
mitigate?
listen, I had that happen. I lived through that. When I was expanding my business from Oakland to Los Angeles, I spent some time looking around. And so my strategy was to downsize my office in Oakland and then expand my office. And so I finally found the office in Beverly Hills that I was going to move in. The same time I was doing business development. So I was meeting with companies and, getting some business set up on the books. And I had just gotten, like everything was going to be fabulous. the following week I was going to finalize the lease for my new place, and, so on and so forth. And I'm just cruising on a Sunday afternoon, convertible down. I'm stopped at a red light, and the lady behind me does not see the red light. And I see her coming, and I'm waiting for her to kind of hit her brakes, slow down. And
And
I'm
she
like,
didn't.
and I'm looking at the cars across, trying to see, well, when is the light going to change? Am I going to be able to just like gun it and get out? And basically, the only thing that saved me was that I was driving a stick. And so, I just put it in neutral. And literally, she hit me at full speed and knocked me half block.
Oh
Now
my
that
God.
immediately, it took me 9 months to heal from that. Thank God I had a disability policy, to protect me, because basically in that case, none of my clients, they are like, no, we don't want your assistant. We don't want your junior person. No, we're going to wait till you're available again. So there went the business right there,
Right.
and it's like, oh my goodness, who would have thunk it? It's like, it was just a perfect Sunday afternoon. What happened that turned into disaster, and it's
Anything can happen, right? Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
yes,
So
yes. So it's important.
we don't know, and with insurance, you cannot get it when you need it.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah,
plan in advance,
exactly.
right? No
Exactly.
one gonna sell it to you. You have a house and it's on fire. No one gonna sell you insurance at that point.
Right, right. Yes, timing is everything. Timing is everything. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's so important because also, sadly, what I've seen, especially in smaller companies, small to mid-cap companies, is that they have been led by oftentimes a very strong and dynamic entrepreneur who is now part of the boomer generation, right?
Right.
And in some of these cases, the succession planning has not been as much of a focus, and those companies end up being really in a vulnerable position when something happens to this leader, because there's no plan, and so there's a tug of war within the organization of people jockeying to get into position. And if it's a family led business, well, there's also the emotional loss of their loved one, which can be very distracting. And then also, again, family inheritance. I've seen families, sisters and brothers and everybody else lose it. And
Mhm.
everybody picks a different position, and everybody has a different way that they manage their grief. But more importantly, there's a tug of war about the assets and all of those things. So people become distracted with all types of issues. And if they're working together in the organization, um, it's disruptive. And it's disruptive if they're there and then the other employees that have different relationships with different family. I mean, like, people start setting up camps, and it's
Right.
very toxic to the functions of the organization. It's
Yeah,
toxic just in families by itself, but now if
that's
you're
true.
this is in a business too, it's like, yeah, yeah,
You want to ensure the businesses keep running a smooth operation if something is happening or happen to your organizations. So let's there are different methods of valuing a key person.
yeah, I
Yeah.
would guess.
Mhm. So there are three different common ones, but the most common is the multiples of income method. So how do you value a key person?
Mhm.
So it is the most simple and the most common method of the three. How you value your key employee or a person in your organization. So this method is a multiple, usually is a multiple of 5 or 10 times of the salary. When we're talking about salary, that's including any other benefits. That could be a bonus or something like that. So for example, if you're making 100,000 salary base, now your bonus could be 20,000 per year. So your uh, your total compensation is 120. So you just take that and time 5 or 10 of that. So you'll need to get a key person policy, at least 1 million to protect in event that that person, something happens to that person, or that person is leaving your organization, that you need to hire someone else to replace and cover the cost of training and interruption of business. You don't want that. You want to continue your business and smooth operation if that person is no longer there. Another one is the replacement cost method. That can be the cost of replacing that specific key employee. And you just, it's simple enough. Just that key person's salary and the cost of hiring, training, and also replacing that new employee with, all the necessary skills to help to have that person help you run your business. The third one, we just, not very commonly, but compared to the multiple income method, that contribution to earning method, which is, measure your business profit and how much that employee is responsible for the growth of your business. So it could be, this can be a multiple income method as well, because it takes money to train and replace, and by profiting to get that person up to speed, the new hire up to speed, to continue running your business, or business expansion.
Yeah, and that's oftentimes missed, is there is a cost to hire a new key person. Those hires do not happen overnight. There's a lengthy process, because a lot of times you have to retain a search firm that begins the process of searching, the top candidates. These days, many organizations, when you're hiring a senior level person, they run personality testing. There's multiple interviews. It's not just a one interview process. You have to interview with several other senior folks within the organization. And then, because many companies or corporations, there's a board of directors, so there's a number of layers that a search for top talent may go through. So you need to really have sufficient time and resources to execute all of those types of things. There's travel, in many cases, your top candidates, you're flying them to different places and putting them up for, it's not like everyone is just down the street from one another all the time. It can be a wide search, especially based upon, the uniqueness of the industry, the sectors you occupy, and the skill sets for those various, sectors and engagements that the organization is involved with. So a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. That's why when you have a need for this policy, get in touch with someone that specializes in this area to help you structure or getting the right policy to grow your business and protect your business. So what type of life insurance should fund your policy? It can be term policy or permanent life insurance policy. So it depends on, it is your choice here. And here are some of the benefits. If you were going to pick a permanent life policy, there are benefits of flexible funding. So, you can set out and in an event, if something is, you're running into a situation where you have short cash of your business. Now you need to decrease that premium a little bit, or to adjust the premium, you can do that with the permanent life policy. You also have an opportunities for cash accumulation. So cash accumulation is a great way. You get an opportunity to compound that over the years, and also access that cash in events that you need to put it back to your company, or to access that cash in event that you need to, grow your business more and expand business, or whatever the reason you need for your business. And, using cash policy that can fund your business needs at any time, right? So it's the permanent policy, the permanent life insurance policy has so much benefits that you can consider that benefit your business in the long run. And also the term policy does have benefits as well. Low cost, but the terms, you have to remember, is only good for 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years. So it's limited. And at the time renewal, then you have to qualify for the insurability of that key person. Although it has low cost, level premium, and there's a set time frame, 10, 20, or 30 years. So you have to consider which one is right for your organizations and pick the one that provide long-term benefit and an opportunity to grow your business as well. So, there's different options that you can do with this type of policy.
Yeah, I think it's great. So for those of you who haven't seen it, I sent out the email info@wealthdoctors.us. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at that address. Also, if you have any topics that you're interested in learning more about and you want us to discuss that topic, please feel free to send us an email as well. We'd love to hear your comments and thoughts. If there's something that you would like us to clarify further based upon, what we've discussed so far, please, of course, send us that information as well. And we want to send a shout out to Catherine Murray. We appreciate your comment. Awesome today. So we're glad that you joined us and we hope you will join us again. And any of you out there that have enjoyed, us coming to you and what we're sharing, certainly we would appreciate some feedback as well as some opportunities. We're here going through these experiences in running our own organizations and looking at the types of tools that we use and really reflecting on just along the journey in being in business, the things that we've learned. Some of these things are we're talking about from personal experience. I'm like, wow, some things I got right, some things I made decisions on, but I didn't fully understand why, because you don't understand it until you need it sometimes, like, man, that Sunday afternoon, I wouldn't have never in a million years thought. I was young, I was invincible, but thank you, Lord, I listened to and had a disability policy. Woohoo.
Right.
So,
Have something in place to protect your business. So if you have a plan or in need of a plan or need some more information, reach out to us. We can walk you through this process and, find out what the best fit for your company and what's the best structure to set up. So it's, just reach out, send us an email or, send us a text, and we will get right back to you.
absolutely. And one last thing, guys, if you are interested, we're thinking about doing like some deeper dive webinars. And if you would be interested in that kind of situation, it'd be like a 30-minute, probably, or yeah, about a 30-minute webinar with Q&A, like by Zoom, so that we could interact with you as well. If you're interested in that kind of content, we're thinking about offering those types of programs. And again, if you have topics of particular interest, send us that email and we will begin to tally a list based upon your interest. So guess what? That is the end of our show for today. It's amazing how fast I say this every week that the time flies by, but these are great topics that certainly we hope are beneficial to you and of interest. We sure know that they, understanding them for ourselves, are key things that we see just along our entrepreneurial journey. And then we see the sadness when sadly these things are not in place and it's just for a lack of knowledge, right? So, that's the thing, is that, people perish because of a lack of knowledge. So if somebody knows something, then see if you can bless somebody else with a gift of knowledge. All right.
The thing is, we don't know what we don't know, right? And if you have a business and you don't know, you have no idea, reach out to us. I mean, these are the things, okay, if you have a business, we can provide you these information and see what fit best for your business and protect you and protect your business. Yes. So, wow, we're running out of time. Have the most wonderful day and successful week.
See you next Wednesday. Remember, 10 a.m. Pacific, wealthdoctors.us. All right. Take care, guys. I'll see you later.